Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, to this, the latest installment of Dads on Wrestling. I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams.
And I am Jeff Meacham. This is Jeff Meacham channel, and no DX, don't sue my channel for that use, because we're going to keep using it until you sue us. So.
But you're not going to get anything out of us from suing us. It would be like trying to get blood from a stone.
What?
You like what I did there?
That was good. Very good, yes.
Today we're here to talk about the top 3 greatest moments in wrestling history.
Yes, wrestling history. This is from David A. Weymouth on JJ's Work Facebook page. So God bless JJ and his actually, like promoting the show on his Facebook and, actually doing the work for the show. And he's right now, as you're watching this, he has just finished editing and uploading this. And, he's uploaded it like 3 months ago, but he still uploaded it. And, because
YouTube works that slow.
YouTube works that slow because we've been at Surveillance for 14 days.
That's right.
Yeah. We're just
doing pin events.
Doing pin events. That's right. That's all we do. That's all we do is Disney pictures. That's all we do. But yes, a great topic. It sparked a lot of debate in the house here because originally it was thought that it was going to be WWE moments, and we both thought, okay, that's easy shit. And wait a minute, wrestling moments. Oh, fuck. We're talking in the whole history of wrestling.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, JJ has 2 lists for you.
That's right.
He did more work than me at the end of the day. I sat home on my ass today. He went out and did stuff today. I sat home on my ass, did nothing today. And,
I went to Company D and bought pins.
You still did something.
But it was still pin related, so it's like doing nothing.
But it was for your pin group, not for your own stuff.
Pin group.
Well,
yeah.
I'm the silent admin. So
it doesn't matter. Shut up.
Yeah. So, but
that's right. I just told Jeff Meacham to shut up on his own channel.
It happens. It does happen. True story. But I'm gonna go ahead and go first since I can.
Okay.
Number 3, 1995, September 4th, 1995 to be exact, because it was in production prior to and pre-planning, but Labor Day 95, World Championship Wrestling, owned by Ted Turner, of course, and led by Executive Vice President Eric Bischoff, begins broadcasting WCW Monday Nitro on TNT, the Turner Network television program. And it's only at number 3 because were it not for this show being broadcast back on Labor Day 95, there would be no Monday Night Wars. There would have been no Attitude Era for the WWF. There would have been no real, distinct, real competition for the WWF, even with Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage and Sting and Lex Luger and everybody else leading the charge. Without that show as a flagship broadcast for the company, there would have been no wars. The WWE would still be what it is today. And WCW would have been a blip on an afterthought in wrestling history, even with the great and powerful Hogan leading the charge as world champion. Number 2, 1963, Vincent J. McMahon and his partners in Capital Wrestling break away from the National Wrestling Alliance and form the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, later, of course, the WWF, and now known as WWE. Vince Sr., we call him Vince Sr., but it's really Vincent J. and Vincent K. Without Vince Sr., there is no WWE. Period. He's always called the father of WWE. And had he not, and his partners, Toots Mont and everybody else, not disputed that title change between their champion, Buddy Rogers, and the NWA's chosen boy, Lou Thesz, back in January of 1963, there would have been no formation of the WWF in April that year. There would have been no champion crown in Buddy Rogers in that tournament. And there'd be no WWE today. But based off that, if there was no 1963 moment, there would have been no moment number 1 in 1982 when Vincent K. McMahon and his company, Titan Sports, purchased the shares of Capital Wrestling from Vince McMahon Sr. and his partners to form Titan Sports Incorporated, and later build the WWF to what is now today a global juggernaut. So Vince comes in at number 1, Vince Sr. comes in at number 2, and Nitro and Bischoff come in at number 3. Exactly. Now, it's argued without those 3 points, there is no mainstream wrestling business to cover like we do every single week on this show.
Very true. I cannot argue on that.
And you have some awesome moments yourself, and I respect them. I think what I did was I took David Weymouth's topic and turned it from greatest into most important or biggest moments. And I think from what you told me, you picked your 3 like favorite great wrestling moments.
Well,
And
you know, I'm gonna throw myself under the proverbial wheelchair here, so to speak, real quick. And like Jeff said, he's been home on his ass all day. Now, I rolled out of here at 3 o'clock. It is currently 10:17 as I'm filming this.
rolled out very good.
Yeah. It's currently
We're causing trouble.
10:17 as we're filming this. So Jeff has had roughly 7 hours to think about this. I've had 17 minutes.
Yeah.
So forgive me here. If I had had
Oh no!
the length of time to think and dwell about it as you had,
Right.
my list may be a little bit more
I'm not
impressive.
knocking your list by any means.
No,
I'm
I
just
know
saying
you're not.
we
I'm
went-
just letting them know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm letting them know so that
Okay.
they don't just up and crap on my list.
Got it.
You know, this is the first of 4 we're taping in this session. I am working on other lists as we're filming this,
There
just
you go.
so you know.
There we go.
If I don't look like I'm focusing on Jeff while he's talking, it's because I'm doing these lists
That's right.
for you right now. So, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do what I thought it was first.
Okay.
When I first thought it was WWE history, I'm going to go ahead and give you those 3 before I give you the ones that I thought of for wrestling history in 17 minutes.
Okay, got it.
Number 3, Paul Heyman's client, Brock Lesnar, conquers the streak.
Now, why is that all time to WWE moments?
Because people will talk about it for the rest of their lives.
Okay.
It may be current, it may be only 2 months old. Hell, a month and some change old as of filming this. May 19th. Don't forget about Kane.
Yeah, never forget about that. Lordy.
This moment will be talked about for easily at least the next 20 years, if not longer.
I agree with that, absolutely.
That's why it
Absolutely.
made it.
Okay, makes sense.
Number 2, Edge cashes in his first Money in the Bank, New Year's Revolution, on John Cena.
Yep.
Number 1, Mach and Liz's wedding.
Oh, I remember that. That was good stuff.
Now, having been told that I completely misheard the topic and had to go back and revise, none of those moments made my final cut.
Okay.
In wrestling history, and I basically tried to pick 3 of the biggest moments from each of the 3 biggest companies.
Ah, okay.
Number 3 from ECW, Barely Legal 97, their first pay-per-view.
Okay.
They had gotten syndication prior and were in, the Northeast, New York, and Philadelphia on television.
Right.
But this was their coming out party, if you will, to the masses.
Yes, definitely. And having watched that back ad nauseum over the last, dear Lord,
Since the network
se-
launched?
17 years, but more so since the network launched. Yes, very true. It's definitely a watershed, definitely a huge moment in ECW history, and in the grand scheme of things, it's a big moment in wrestling history because who would have ever thought after the AWA fold, after all these companies went under Vince McMahon's, proverbial thumb, that there'd be another company besides WCW to produce pay-per-views on a full-time or at least semi-regular basis, and ECW did it.
ECW very much was the little engine that could.
Yep.
Number 2, the birth of Hulkamania.
Yay.
Yes, the ginger over here has brainwashed me well.
That's right.
You cannot argue that aside from Vince buying WWF from his father,
Right.
there was no bigger moment in WWF history than the birth of Hulkamania.
Absolutely not. As far as the entire history of the company, absolutely not.
So what can be bigger than the birth of Hulkamania then?
I have an idea, but you
Of
already
course
told
you
me.
do. I told you
You
what
told
it
me.
was.
You told me the idea, so yeah, that's
Asshole.
right. That's right. It happens.
Hulk Hogan turning heel. The formation of the NWO for WCW.
The unheard of, as Jimmy Hart said on the NWO DVD. We need to watch it
Because-
tonight.
That was what allowed WCW to take over the ratings war.
Think about it. When
And
did-
succeed for 87 weeks?
83.
83.
And think about it. What was the first week of the 83 weeks? June 10th, 1996. The week prior, Scott Hall, who had already been there for 2 weeks, promised a huge surprise, and out on WCW TV walks fucking Diesel, Kevin Nash, to complete astonishment from everybody, including the WWF themselves.
Oh yeah.
Who knew they were leaving, but they're watching the truck going, oh, we in trouble. From that point, for 83 weeks until April 13th, 1998, WCW did not lose a battle in the Monday Night Wars, and it's all because of the NWO storyline. But July 7, 96, Hogan doing the unthinkable and turning his back after 12 years of say your precious dragons. No, you fans can stick it, brother. Brother. Ah! That's right.
I'm surprised this wasn't on your list in lieu of the first Nitro, because like the birth of Hulkamania, it is hard to argue that this is not the biggest moment in WCW history.
Well, but
bigger than the birth of Nitro.
Well, without Nitro, though, there would have been no NWO to perform on in the first place. But without NWO, there would have been no Nitro to keep going. So it goes both ways.
That's not entirely true, because Hogan was with the company prior to the launch of Nitro.
Right, but...
So, but they already had Hogan. The NWO angle very well could have still come without Nitro. It just helped. It was the Mr. Fusion, if you will, to help give the boost to the flux capacitor.
Right. Well, here's where I will argue. I will totally take Kevin Nash's stance and run with it. Okay. On the Legends of Wrestling Roundtable, which is unfortunately not on the DVD version of the NWO Revolution.
So I've never seen it.
But it's on the Blu-ray. Well, it's on YouTube. Nash pointed out something that really struck home to me. They were going to have the NWO have a segment on Saturday night. The taped WCW show, they taped on like Tuesdays or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And Nash's like, we can't. We don't work for you guys. You're a taped show. How are you going to justify having these live renegades on a taped show? You wouldn't give us time of day if you had time to edit us out. Hence, them buying time on Saturday night. Hence, buying time on Pro and Worldwide and the other shows. Without the live Nitro catalyst where you didn't know what the fuck was going to happen every week. For Scott Hall to come out of the crowd in Macon, Georgia, fresh off WWF TV, fresh off being a WWF event the previous night, at a live event. You wouldn't have Kevin Nash come out 2 weeks later to a live crowd. You wouldn't have Hogan turning on the crowd at a pay-per-view and coming out Nitro dressed in all black. You never knew what was going to happen with the live show. Without that live platform each and every week, the NWO would not have succeeded nearly as well, I don't think.
Okay.
And at Real Kevin Nash, back me up on that. If you're following, but you're not watching the show, but that's okay. I'll pretend you are. Make myself feel better.
So
I need my NWO shirt. I need to find my NWO shirt or buy a new one or something. I miss having my NWO shirt. Talk about NWO. Like every time I talk about NWO, I just throw on this shirt real quick and just present the propaganda. Damn it.
So that is our top 3 greatest moments in wrestling history.
Yes.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams.
I am Jeff Meacham. Thank you very much, David A. Weymouth, for the topic suggestion, and we will see you guys next time.